Look at this photo. What lens do you think I used? A 2,000 euro telephoto lens? A heavy 3-kilo monster? No. I used a second-hand lens bought for less than 200 euros. Today, I'm taking you trackside and teaching you how to photograph planes for very little, using the secret advantage of our affordable APS-C cameras. Welcome to Nia Photo, the photography channel, minimal expense, great results. Today we are going airplane hunting with the budget of the weekly grocery shopping. Fasten your seatbelts, we are taking off. So, let's talk about our Frankenstein. Why do I call it that? Because we are merging two worlds. A not-so-young mirrorless camera body and a lens born for APS-C DSLRs. Here, we have the Canon EOS M50, a small, lightweight APS-C mirrorless camera that is usually used for vlogs. It was produced from 2018 to 2020. You can find it used for around 350 euros. It has a good grip, a viewfinder, and a fairly fast burst mode. And here, the legendary Canon EF-S 55-250mm is too. They call it the little plastic one because, well, it's made of plastic. It costs very little and can be found used at ridiculous prices. It is produced from 2011 to 2013, but despite its age, it still performs excellently. A great advantage of this lens is its good sharpness, the long focal length of 250 millimeters, and its internal stabilizer. Yes, it is a stabilized lens. Of course, it wouldn't be possible to use this lens on this camera body without an adapter. Does it look like a makeshift solution? Maybe. But do you know what the magic is? The magic is the APS-C sensor. Thanks to Canon's crop factor, which is 1.6, my 250 millimeters is not a 250 millimeters. In reality, I see as if I have a 405 millimeters. Do you understand? I have a super telephoto lens, stabilized and sharp, spending a tenth of what professionals spend. It's brilliant. Another advantage not to be underestimated is the weight. This setup weighs less than a kilogram, less than half of a full-frame camera. But now let's move on to practice. To photograph fast-moving objects like jets, it's essential to set our camera correctly. Our main enemy is motion blur. To photograph a jet, we need to use a shutter speed of at least 1/1000th of a second. Choosing shutter speeds for propeller planes or helicopters is much more complicated. A shutter speed that is too short produces an unnatural image, with the propeller appearing still. A shutter speed that is too long, on the other hand, will make the propeller disappear from the frame. We need to decide what effect we want to achieve. The hardest thing is to get a complete disk of the propeller. But even achieving the right motion blur of the propeller is an excellent result. The correct shutter speed depends on the diameter of the propeller and its rotation speed, which we obviously do not know. So, we need to do some tests. A good starting point is 1/250th of a second. The issue is even more complex when talking about helicopters because the main rotor spins more slowly than the tail rotor. Here are two examples of the results that can be obtained by photographing at 1,000th of a second in the top photo and at 160th of a second in the bottom photo. Unfortunately, the subject was just passing by, and I was unable to try other shutter speeds. So, if you are photographing helicopters or propeller planes, keep your camera set to shutter priority, then take the first photo, and adjust the selection dial between one photo and the next. Unfortunately, in my M50, it is not possible to change the shutter speed during a burst. If you are enjoying this video, you could give me a like. It would be really nice if you did it now. But now let's move on to the camera settings. For action shots like these, you should disable the photo preview after taking the shot. We certainly don't want to miss the action, right? Another very important setting concerns autofocus. Set it to servo AF and set the tracking area to the center of the frame. One of the great things about our lens is the switch to turn autofocus on and off right at your fingertips. This button allows you to disable autofocus between shots. Our equipment is very affordable, and it may struggle to focus on some aircraft under certain conditions. In this case, I recommend focusing on a ground object at roughly the desired distance and locking the focus with the button. This trick has saved me in more than one situation. And here we are in the field. The golden rule here is panning. Don't be marble statues. You need to move with the plane. Lock it in your sights when it's far away, follow it by rotating your torso, take the burst when it passes in front of you, and, this is important, keep following it even after you finish shooting. The movement must be smooth, like in golf or tennis. If you stop suddenly while shooting, the photo will be blurry. Guys, look here. Incredible sharpness, top colors, and all this with a camera that fits in one hand and an affordable lens. The Canon 55-250mm is too, along with the Canon EOS M50, is a lethal combo for those who want to get started. The autofocus works great, and the lightweight allows you to shoot for hours without tiring your arms. I hope this video has inspired you to go out and try, even if you don't have the latest model costing 5,000 euros. Creativity always wins over the wallet. If you liked the video, leave a nice like, subscribe so you don't miss the next low-cost videos, and let me know below. What is your favorite budget lens? I'm Nia, and I'll see you in the next shot. Bye.